Yeah.
Alrighty, we are good and we are live with everybody here. Welcome to Left Lasagna channel, where we are doing a open interview with Joy Drive and Daddy Lasagna.
Oh yeah.
So we're talking to you guys here, and we're looking at the camera over here, the video over here. Hey, how's it going, Pab? So I can't do shout out, so Pab, that's why you're in here to do this shout out with whoever's in here. So give yourself a shout out. So Joy Drive is one of our original fans, if you would, to the Left Lasagna crew. And also, she's my aunt. She's awesome. And everybody knows my dad, Daddy Lasagna. He was there for we did the lasagna dinner, if you would.
Yep.
Making it at the house, and then also we did the pizza as well. So I'll be monitoring all the chat on my phone and make sure everybody's good on here. Also, if you want to do send alerts on here as well, Pab, feel free to. So basically, just doing random questions. It's not gonna be like massively personal questions, but enough questions to basically make it either squirm or have a good time.
I like that.
I'm out.
You can't leave now.
I've already squirmed.
That's why we put you in the middle.
You signed the contract, okay?
I need a high chair.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So first off, Daddy Lasagna.
That's me.
What did your shirt say?
Oh, my shirt. So my shirt is once an engineer, always an engineer. It says that no matter what, you cannot not be an engineer.
Gotcha.
Because it's like the mafia. You know too much. You know, it's like you know, it took me 30 years to get there, but now I'm a self-made engineer. So that worked out pretty good. So
basically, self-taught your own self. You're all engineered.
Yep. Tools
and everything. And
yep.
It's all in the brain.
It's all in the brain. Yep.
All the numbers are in his brain. So
I did all the physical stuff first, and as I was doing the physical stuff, I started gathering the tools. Now I've got all the tools, and I just happen to keep the brain, so it just works out really good.
Works for me. All right. Yeah. So Joy Drive.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you drive a bus.
Well, if they didn't, they now.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been driving for the city for just over 7 years.
Wow, 27 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time, guys. I mean, that's mostly career right there, you know?
You know how far that would be in the bus? It'd be like driving to California and back. To California and back. California and back.
And do you enjoy your job?
Oh, yeah, I really like my job.
Yeah? Would you ever consider doing streaming?
No.
Hence why I drag you onto the show?
Oh my goodness.
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of, yeah. See,
yeah.
Dad was made for streaming. He was made to do as an entertainer, if you would.
Yeah. I can even juggle. Watch this. No, never mind.
Well, I do plenty of joking around on the bus, and I get people telling me that I'm funny, and I go, yeah, I'm a sit-down comic. Because I can't get up and walk around when I'm talking to them.
Funny.
Yeah, and you always have a captured audience. I mean, you shut the door and they're in there.
They can't leave till I open
they're
the door.
in there.
That's right. I mean, they're like there.
So 27 years. And how long you been doing engineering? Or computer work?
So computer work, oh my goodness. So let's see, some computer work. I've been working on computers now. Let's see, so my first computer was an old Tandy. Like an old Tandy. I mean, I thought it was really good because it was an 86. I mean, it was fast back then. So I've been working with computers now for
33 years. So almost as old as I have. I'm 32.
Yes.
Wow.
So I had my first computer before you were actually born.
I would hope so. You probably remember the computers back in the day when they were huge, right? They were weighed about, a ton, literally a ton.
So when I was actually introduced to computers when I was in the Navy, which was before you were born. I was like 3 years before you were born. Okay. So yeah, and then I worked on a computer that was, I mean, it was probably, it was a big computer.
Huge.
And of course, it used the big old the big 5.5 floppy drives, so it was like, to do anything, you had to have 7 discs. Right. And then put that one in, put this one in, put that one in.
Gotcha. So basically all the discs were probably about this big deal, right? Little squares of
Yeah, they were the 5.5 inch square. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then each of them had their own little.
Each had like a piece of
thing
the program.
They did. Yeah. Gotcha. I remember those when I was little. Yeah. They were a bit smaller. Yeah. And they worked.
Yeah. So then we had when they finally got to the hard ones, they had 3.5. But those actually had a hard case on it. The other ones, you could actually take the thing and actually, I mean, it was like
really.
It was actually really floppy.
Wow.
You had to put the master disk in the first drive, and then down below you had to put in all the executable files. And like, oh, and put in disk 6. Okay, put in disk 6, and it would work for a little while. Then you go like, oh, take that disk out, put in disk 3, and then put that in there, and then
wow.
And then finally the program would start on the screen, and you're like, oh, cool, now you can use it, and then say, oh, please insert a writable disk. Oh, it's like, okay, so you take that one out, and then you have to get a blank disk because it was looking for some place to put information.
Wow.
Yeah, because it only had like a 12 megabyte hard drive.
12 megabytes.
12 megabyte. Yeah.
We never go on terabytes,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now you're looking at terabytes. It's like, oh my goodness,
So, when were you introduced to computers, Joy Drive?
From him.
From him? Back when you were a teenager?
Oh.
No, they didn't make computers that far back.
Okay.
Okay.
So you were probably in your 30s, probably when you first got your first computer you touched your hands on and started typing in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Playing Pac-Man.
Well, you use that. Yeah. You do that one that you had you did art at that one like your job, your babysitting job, wasn't it? And
yeah,
you got to use a computer.
It was an Apple computer. Had those great big pixels.
Pab says hopper.
Big pixels, so you got no real detail.
Yeah, right.
Yes, Pab, that was burned on her.
Yeah.
But I did a picture of the shuttle.
Yeah,
it was during that time, the one that blew up.
Okay, yeah. The
Challenger.
Challenger, yes. Right.
So that was when you were introduced.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a while ago.
Also, anybody in the audience, as well as Pab, if you have any questions for them, feel free, and we'll get to your questions as soon as we can.
And we may not answer. That's all right.
Yeah, we may answer all of them, but we'll answer as much as we can. And if they're too personal, we'll let you know.
And of course, if we put up our hand like this, we might be pleading the fifth and decide not to answer
them. So I sent both of you guys questions on your phones. You know of one of them, right?
I know one of them.
Do you remember the one of the questions?
Well, actually, since it's been like 4 or 5 days since you sent the questions. Oh, no. That's right. It's only been like 25 minutes.
An hour.
I think I can remember
them. It's been an hour.
I think I can remember them.
All right. So your favorite fast food restaurant when you're a teenager?
Favorite fast food restaurant? So I used to go... Oh. You hear that? Wow.
We all hear that.
Somebody just got on.
Thanks, Pab.
That's good. So my favorite fast food restaurant when I was a teenager is so I lived in Whitehall, and Whitehall had it's now a little ceramic shop, but before it was a ceramic shop, it was called the Shortstop, and their hamburger was called a Slugger, and it's kind of like way back when you used to be able to get a Whopper, and the Whopper was like. Like it was all meat and all bun. I mean, they were huge back then. Before Whoppers went smaller. So they had this burger that was actually that's and it was like a half-pound burger.
Half-pound burger.
And when they put the tomato on, they didn't put like this little teeny thin slice. It was like a 1/4 inch thick, and it had like 2 slices on it.
Oh man!
They put like 4 slices of lettuce on it, or 4 leaves of lettuce on it. I mean, and it was like it was a meal.
And how much do those things cost?
So, well, let's see. So when Mom and I used to go on a date to go there.
Oh boy!
So this is a long time ago. We could actually go, and I could get 2 Whoppers, or 2 Sluggers, and then 2 orders of fries, a milkshake, and a pop, and get all that for under $10.
Under $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that's at least $20 now.
Oh yeah,
more.
Yeah, I mean, and so nowadays you get a milkshake and they go like, yeah, that's $8. You're like, what? What? Come on.
Where do you get milkshakes?
That one place,
Yeah,
Robin.
That $8 place.
Yeah, the $8 place. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it was. I'm like, wow, that's like incredible.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, we could I could go. So we actually what we do is we'd go for $20. We'd go on a date and we'd go to the Slugger and get Sluggers. And then we'd go over to the movie place and watch a movie and eat popcorn and candy and a drink of pop and then all that for $20. Under $20.
What is the maximum price you would pay for a milkshake?
From right now? Oh my goodness. This is
from Pab.
So I did go to one place that was up in close to Traverse City. It was Traverse City chocolate with cherries in it. Traverse City cherry. And I'll tell you what, it was incredible. And I actually paid $9 for that shake.
$9.
$9 because it had actual pieces of cherry and chunks of chocolate in it, all swirled together. And it was like probably about a 20-ounce shake.
So pretty small.
It was pretty small, but it was fabulous.
Pretty small.
It was fabulous.
You just get a quart of Hudsonville
ice cream,
Traverse City cherry,
and then melt
stick it in the
then
blender and put a little touch of milk in it, and it costs you so much less.
But I'll tell you what,
much less. She says much less.
It was so good, fresh. I mean, it was.
I mean, you can do a Ben & Jerry's.
I could do
it. Costs a little more, but
yeah, it was incredible. It was really good.
So $9 is the maximum for a day lasagna. Have a milkshake.
Yeah, $9. Yeah, but it's got to be a good milkshake at $9.
But see, mine was like $4 in Washington State. We had it was pie shakes.
Oh, pie shakes. Yeah,
pecan pie, nice big slab. They put in their milkshake and they just stir all together. $4 and right there, and you basically have like 3 20-ounces for $4.
Wow, that's a good deal.
It was really good. I
mean,
homemade pie. Oh my goodness, so good.
Yeah.
So. The question to you, Joy Drive.
I liked his question.
What was your hobby back when you were, let's say, early 20s?
Well, the very first thing I chose as a hobby, I was very careful because I wanted something that wouldn't just sit on a shelf. I wanted something that made noise. This is lame.
Go ahead.
That's good. I had a lame hobby. Sorry.
I decided to collect bells.
Okay, why
I thought
bells?
They were kind of pretty, and then they made a pretty sound. But I started out with.
So do dogs, though. But
I was an artist. I did a lot of artwork, and so I started out with Norman Rockwell because he was famous for realistic life paintings, and so they had a series of bells. And I've looked online since then to see if they were worth anything because they cost me quite a bit of money. I was only 17 years old. I didn't have a good job and it was really expensive. They're worth probably $1 a piece now, and they were a whole lot more than when I got them.
Gotcha. Yeah, inflation kills you.
Well, now, so the one that I got you for that one birthday should actually be worth some money now.
Silver.
It was silver.
It was silver.
It had a wind up.
It had a music box built
inside,
into it, so that when you would pick it up, it would start playing music. It was
really cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Tab says or asks, "What is your favorite medium for your art?"
Ooh.
Currently, I love watercolor. I learned how to do.
Oh, the Pab, by the way.
A little bit.
So
I learned how to do.
He's on that little green light up there.
But yeah, I think watercolor is
the watercolor, Pab. We're looking at you. It's watercolor. He waved back.
Okay, cool.
Pab, you're like 1 year younger than me, right? Something like that. He's actually the youngest one here currently. He's our moderator. And he's a pretty fun guy.
He's just a baby.
He's my one of my IT guys.
Okay.
With him and Zeepster. Gotcha. And so he was he came here randomly and he's like, "Hey, I see you have some things you're working on. Do you want help?" And I'm like, "I don't know what I'm doing." So he's like, "Well, give me a minute." He's 28 years old.
28. Oh,
yeah.
That's young. Hate to say that.
I remember back when I was there 20 years old, you know?
Yeah, I can remember that old. Yeah, it was a while back.
So there's my aunt's her first question to her was her hobby. And to your next question, for you, we're going to the tech world again. So what was your favorite arcade cabinet when you were younger?
So my favorite arcade game, and if I could actually find a cabinet like that, I would probably still try to play it again.
Wow, Pab.
Because so my favorite cabinet was Tron, and but there was an arcade that was close to our school, and I would go at lunchtime, and I would go up there and I would play my whole lunch. That's what I do. I'd go up and play arcade games for lunchtime.
How long's your lunch? How long's your lunch?
Well, you have a half hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it was only like a block away.
Yeah, it was a block away. So you
could
just
a block away.
Block away. And I'd get on my bike, and I'd ride up with my bike, and I'd play for half an hour, and I'd come back, just in time for the bell. But yeah, and so it was kind of like they would, in that arcade, they would actually reset the score on this game. They would reset it like every 2 weeks. And the reason they did that is because everybody would go in there, and my scores were like so far up off the charts that they were like they'd have to give everybody else a chance. And I would go up there because I would like triple anybody's score that I could hold it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and so because of that, they would always go up there and set the score.
We call that today sweating or tryhards, where that's all you do is play games to get the highest score.
Yeah, so I remember I'd walk in like some of my other friends, they'd play that same game, and of course they'd have their names up there for a day, and then they would see me walk in, and you could just see them go, "Oh, here comes Rick."
Hey, Pab, thank you so much for the 5. Yes, Pab, the original sweat, day lasagna. Yes, the original sweat man.
Yeah. So I'd go in there, and if you did it just right, because on the Tron you had like a handle that had a trigger on it, and you could actually use that to shoot. Well, on the console, it had a separate fire button, so you could either fire with the console or with the trigger. And I got to where I trained myself good enough so that I could go fire on the button and then fire on the console and go back and forth just as fast enough that I could actually get twice the ammo.
Really?
Because of the fact that could use both my fingers fast enough where I could go through some.
Interesting.
So that's a clue to some of you guys if you ever did play Tron and you kept on going like, how does he do that? There it is.
Because they do have the original Tron arcade in Galloping Ghost Arcade up by Chicago area. And I tried playing Tron. I remember that button being in the right hand and left hand side going, what does this button do? I never used it, but I'm like, there's a trigger here. What do you do with the trigger? Now, yeah.
So that's another fire button on the. That's why if you get distracted, you can actually start firing down here with your left hand. So then if you go right, left, you could actually go fast enough and get twice the amount. So like when you're dropping through the tunnel with Tron, and he's kind of shooting down, and he's going down. I can actually in the fast level, I could completely clear the row.
Wow. See, I remember the other Tron game that was in the arcades back when you were a kid was the Tron disc game.
Yes.
Where you had to hit the walls in order to hit the other person on the other side, and that only had the trigger.
Right.
And then the movement, if you would, for your character, and that was you hit the first or second, and you had like 2 discs after that. So
that and if you watch their disc coming at you, if you were already running backwards, if you saw it coming and you could run backwards with it, if you really quick go forward fast, you would actually jump just a little bit, so you could actually jump over their disc. That's another clue if you're ever going to play that game. You can actually jump discs, but you have to be very, very coordinated because you only have so much area that you can jump, get over the top of it, and land and then stop. So there was actually some strategy to that game.
That's why you're an engineer now.
That's why I'm an engineer.
So, Joey Drive, here we're back with you again. You still thrilled all these questions.
Totally.
All right, so I asked on earlier, what was your favorite or is favorite dessert that really only you enjoy and want you to hog it all to yourself? You're like, it's so good, it's scrumptious.
There is no such thing as a dessert only I would enjoy.
Mine is homemade pecan pie with little Hershey's in it.
Yeah, but you're not the only one who would enjoy that.
No, but I don't want to share them.
And if he gets it, he's not going to give me a bite. I'm going, hey, can I have a piece? No. He's like, So there's a dessert that's like that. You didn't raise. I know.
That's selfish.
I know. He's very selfish.
This is my show.
This is his show, yeah.
That's why I'm talking about you.
He can do whatever he wants.
Okay. Strawberry rhubarb pie. Now, see.
Do the one.
Pumpkin pie was the one I was raised with.
So strawberry rhubarb pie, if we gave you a nice hot piece right now, you wouldn't want to share, right?
Wouldn't have hot. I like
cold
whipped cream.
Okay, well, yep.
I don't know what else. I mean, I love chocolate. But see, you guys are like really
I'm thinking that it's that one
raspberry
cake,
thing,
that raspberry cake that Curtis made. That had
That's funny because I was
ganache
thinking
over
that.
the top of that.
So I mean, if we have that in the fridge right now, I'm telling you,
there's no way.
All that money we put aside,
right?
For this.
There's no way.
So it had like a chocolate layer cake on the bottom, and then it had like a marble cake on the top.
Mm-hmm.
It had like raspberry cream on the center, and then raspberry cream over the top, and then it was all covered in ganache.
Oh my goodness!
And then it had strawberries on top of it,
that were
it was covered
in
chocolate.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, that thing was incredible. And if she had some, I'm thinking it would be you're going to lose a limb if you go after it.
No, actually, I paid him to make one.
Exactly.
Once, but it was because I had a party thing that I wanted.
Well, I mean, we're saying that if Dad tried to take a little slice from your cake, that you're like, this is my piece.
No, I would share now.
I might have a fork in the back of my hand.
No, because it is way too sweet.
It is way. It was.
I'm sure
it was
it's
sweet.
not.
It was really good.
Oh.
I'm sure.
It was amazing.
Okay, so basically, for everybody who's watching at home, basically again, this Daddy Lasagna, Joy Drive, they're both on my show before, as if you would. On the indie audience, if you would, in the while I do my streams. Joy Drive drives a bus. She's pretty cool. She's been part of the channel for over 6 months now. Same with Daddy Lasagna. He actually gave me the ideas of how to get certain things fixed up, like how the camera's fixed up, the computer, how they work, and so forth, and also some of the decorations behind me. Also,
I got you that.
Yes, she also gave me the flag that's behind her,
which is really cool.
Yep. And so the thing is, we wanted to do this interview so you guys get a chance to get the face again, to see who they were again, and see the support from, I have my family I talk to when I'm not doing my streams or work. This is what I do, is I converse with real people. So, looking to set up. But thanks, NASCAR. So NASCAR says hi.
Hi, NASCAR.
Hello.
How you doing?
Any questions for them, NASCAR? Hope all is good over there at the house. It is all good. The house is not burned down yet. We're good.
Yeah, no lightning strikes yet, so we're good.
So NASCAR, any questions for Joy Drive or Daddy Lasagna? Any questions for them at all before we continue? No questions. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
I haven't been in an actual NASCAR myself, but I've driven in a like a hobby stock car. So that was pretty cool.
Hobby stock? Yeah,
hobby stock. So it was my stepdad he kind of took me in as a dad. He wasn't officially my stepdad, but he did he drove at Winston Raceway and then also in Marne in Grand Rapids. And I got to ride in his car one time, and we were on the expressway, and we were doing 210 miles an hour. And I'll tell you what, that was cool.
You broke the law?
Broke the law. Yeah. I didn't. I wasn't driving. I was riding.
You were an accomplice.
I was an accomplice. I was actually sitting on the gas tank at the time.
Oh, no.
Pab says I would throw up. Pab does not like going in a car that fast.
It was, I won't. Did I mention his name? I hope I didn't. Because
no, you didn't.
Okay, good, because I didn't want to actually get him in trouble.
So this is a questions from the Lasagna crew to you guys.
Okay,
so this is from Lasagna crew. So not myself, but the crew themselves. Like Flarion, Vaporeon, Rizzle, Waffles, everybody.
Here we go.
Okay. Been to both of those tracks. So he's been to both of those tracks.
Yeah.
So this was from Vaporeon, or Tyler, who you've met before.
Okay.
Big, tall, skinny guy. Okay.
Yep, Tyler.
So again, this is a question that was about collections, but this is for your childhood.
Okay.
What is your favorite childhood collection that you started when you were younger?
Oh my goodness! This is the fun part. Is like I still have a major part of my collection. You do. And I just
hey Pab, with more bits, dude. Awesome, thank you so much.
I just happened to get a case when one of the local pharmacies went out of business, or not out of business, but they stopped selling this particular model that I had, or hobby that I had. So I collected matchboxes, and I have matchboxes from when I was like a little boy.
Wow.
That I actually kept with me all the way through.
You still have them? I
still have them, and like so when when the pharmacy went out of business or they stopped selling them, they got rid of. They were going to just throw the case out. There's a regular full size case that holds like the 75 year models, and then it had like a space on the bottom for those. And so what I did is I started, when I got at that point, I looked at all my collection. I got all the numbers, so I had all the numbers in the right slots. And the cars that I didn't have, I started looking for them and purchasing the ones that I didn't have.
Gotcha.
And so then from 1972 to about 1994, I've got 1 through 75 in my case of all the numbers of what they are. So it means that they're actually the actual numbers in the case, the way that they're.
Gotcha. And that's in a little bunker, locked in a little chest.
Yes.
No one's touching it.
They're all. So I was at a place that they actually sold. I was looking at the matchboxes. I was going like, oh, I need to know what the number of that is. I know that. And so I'm looking at it, and this guy walked in, and he was like, it was his display in this. It was like a consignment shop. And I told him, I says, well, I'm looking for this number, and this number. He was like, why are you doing that? And I said, well, I'm filling a case. He says, oh, well, you're just looking for. And I said, well, and so I showed him a picture of what I had, and I said, well, this is what and he was like, whoa, dude, do you want to sell that? I'm like, no.
I'm trying to fill it for a reason.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm not looking to sell right now. Yeah. So it's worth it's a collection that's actually worth not just sentimental, but money right now. It's got some dollars tied up in it.
Gotcha.
And he was wondering how I got that case, and I was just like, believe it or not, I took it out of the garbage.
Wow. So that's your collection.
That's my collection. Matchboxes. Yep.
And you're still bells?
No, actually, I'm not. I've got bells, but I'm not really collecting them.
When you were in your childhood, though, did you have anything that collected till you're a teenager, or
Barbies, comic books?
Barbies and comic books. There it is.
That's all I had.
So, what was the year? What was the year you started though? You think like for comic books? Like, was the original DC? Or...
I started 74.
Okay, so like the original Superman and all that. Cool.
Hey, you got some other questions up.
Those are just Streamlabs stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's showing that if you want to become part of the lasagna crew, if you would, or lasagna community, hit me by Twitter. So follow me on there, and then go from there. You want to free subscribe to this channel on Amazon.
Perfect.
So then the next question.
That was a commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, please stand by for commercial. Commercialing now.
Next question. Now this is back in the day when I know I was a kid, and I said I'm not sure if my dad or my aunt would actually remember this war because they were kind of like in the middle of their era, if you would.
A war?
The Nintendo or Sega? So Sega Genesis or Nintendo? What was the ones you guys picked and why?
Well, I picked Nintendo.
Okay.
But it was only because the Sega at that time, way back then, and I still kind of hold to this at that time period.
Okay.
Sega had lag, where Nintendo did.
Okay.
And so because of that, it was like, you'd start up a game and you'd go like, you'd be like playing, and all of a sudden it would go like, Sega would stop and go, and then it would start up again. And I'm like, no, that's not going to happen if I'm playing a game. If I played a game, I want it to be smooth.
So you wanted just more of the smooth play than all it was.
Play. Yeah, Nintendo was, at that time, I think it was, because they were actually using, a lot of their games were actually in the EEPROM. They were actually, once they loaded up, they didn't have to look at the disc again. They were just loaded in memory and they ran.
Gotcha.
They ran smooth, and I like the smooth run.
And you?
I started with Atari. That was super simple, easy.
Atari.
But we did Nintendo and Sega. Yeah, the super easy stuff. But Nintendo and Sega, the problem with that is the games were so much better than me. I could never.
Gotcha.
So
it didn't matter then?
Well, no, it didn't. Except I like the name Sega.
You hear that?
Sega looks really cool.
And that's the thing too is I think as a kid we had a neighbor who had both the Nintendo and the Sega, and the reason why you couldn't play Nintendo was because of Mario, and we're like, well, this sucks. So we found Sega, and they had James Pond.
Oh yeah,
and it was just
Sega had more games. They did.
They did, and they, for me, Sega had more of the cooler colors, as well as more games that more of the action flashing colors. Or Nintendo was like, oh, Zelda, or just platforms.
Zelda's good.
But as a kid,
Zelda's good.
I like the flash. I like to see the flash of light though, from Top Gun had the flashing lights when you got shot down or whatever. I'm like,
I know, but see, but then what happened is you get shot down, and then you'd have to go like, okay, then the whole game would stop. You're like, okay, now I would really like to fly again now, but you wait, and then it would start up again. It's like, well, okay, so
it's true.
So who was it that started getting the lifelike movie version of going on? Because I remember watching guys, and I gotta learn to play those games someday because they look lifelike.
Well, that's when they went to computer. I think that's when they actually started getting more lifelike.
Well, if you want like actual video games that you had like movies in them, in a sense.
Kinda, but you're
like Robo Warrior,
like what you do now when you're doing your shoot 'em up games.
Shoot 'em up games? You mean FPS?
Sorry.
Young lady.
Yeah.
No,
Call of Duty.
yeah, there you go.
Those were back in, I believe, in the PS1 era. So PlayStation 1 started out with the actual disc. PlayStation did the first disc game, and then Dreamcast was after that. But the 3D games you had mostly for PC.
Yeah.
PC started that kind of a trend, then PlayStation and Nintendo picked those up as well, and then Sega as well.
Yeah, because I only played the PC.
Yeah.
When it copy.
Yeah, but they had the really cool.
Wow, Pab. He says hot duty. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, the thing is more like they started doing the 3D gaming. I mean, back when I was a kid, they had like
was that Pokemon Level Up?
Yeah, it was basically sound level up. Is all it is. It's a sound bit that you heard in the background.
Gotcha.
The 3D games are like Trap or
so we had at one time we had 5 or 6 computers networked in the house, and we had a cable, the Ethernet cables connected them all. That's back when you had to have cables to actually hook the computer.
Yeah.
And then we all used to play
what?
No, SWAT. We played SWAT, which was really cool. But then the other one we played was Delta Force.
Delta Force, yep.
And we would all have Delta Force. But then they made it so that you had to have it all. Everybody had to have a disc, and it was like, I'm not going to play. I'm not going to buy 5 versions of this. So then I actually found a way to make a play disc off of the master disc, and then we would just put a play disc in all of our.
I remember all those.
So you had to load up the master disc to get the game started, and once you got the game started, you could use the play disc to get in. And that was like so much fun. And I remember you used to play that too.
Isn't that how we played Alpha Centauri?
Yeah, we played Alpha Centauri the same way. Alien Crossfire.
Penation says Ethernet cables are the future and the past.
Yes, that is true.
That is true.
If it's a good thing, it'll last for.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This is from Flareon.
Must be part of the other crew. Rest of the crew.
Yep. Favorite colors?
Green.
Oh, green.
Both are green.
and I have to say, my green is probably different than her green.
I like lots of different greens.
But you like the lime green, I think, the best.
Yeah, kinda.
Lime green and yours emerald, basically.
No, mine is actually olive green.
Olive green.
Olive green.
There's a difference, guys.
Because it's good camo.
Okay.
I mean, if you're in a bright green shirt, you are not gonna hide from anybody.
This green. Green of your
It's that lime green though.
Yeah.
Hold on, Pabmation. Hold on, Pab. You guys remember the games you would have to boot up in DOS to get to?
Yes.
I do.
Yes. Duke Nukem 3D.
Commander Keen.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And I actually played it up on a shareware disc.
Yeah. I remember we had to get before DLC came around, you had the compact disc that came with the game, right? And then you had to go online, which is pre-order if you got to mail it in your registry in order to get the extra discs, in order to get the extra content they give you. So Quake,
Oh, Quake.
Quake was a big one. They said,
wow,
well, we'll give you.
Serious.
Oh man,
we'll give you Quake 2. Here's the shareware version. So you get the demo. In order to get the whole version, you gotta pay this much money in a check. Send it to us. We'll send you the disc if you want the extra story to go with it. That's another $20 plus shipping and receiving.
Yeah, and so I played Duke Nukem when it was still on a 3.5-inch floppy that you slid in, and then you had to wait for it to load. After it loaded, then you pulled that disc out and put in disc 6, because disc 6 was the play disc.
The play disc, yeah.
And then once you put the play disc in, you could play because it had to be able to have it had to know you had the copyright disc, which was disc 1.
Yep.
So you had to load the game disc 1, then put disc 6 in to play, and that kind of dates me.
And here's the thing too: is you had to then go into DOS, prompt the commands, go to C drive in order to open the command. Oh, I can't find the file. Go back to D drive and make sure that's it. Yeah, I remember those.
It was crazy, but hey, I'll tell you what. It was a good game. It was worth it.
I never got to play them unless one of y'all were around because I could never figure out how to go.
She could never get them started. It was like, let me get it started for you.
And that's probably why I think my dad and I still enjoy the sound of the old keyboard typing, because you hear all that clicking. And I love the hearing when you're hearing someone play Call of Duty and you hear the clicking, like constant clicking on the keyboard. I love that sound. I don't know why, but I'm like, it makes sense. Because DOS, all you hear was clicking the entire day. Yeah, like you. When I was a kid, all you hear from Dad's office was click, click, click,
yeah.
All you heard.
and then you would wear out 8 of the buttons. the 4 arrow keys.
Yep.
And then the 4 on this side.
WSD.
Yep.
Yeah, and I always had to have a list of what keys you have to hit, and by the time you had to go fast on some of that, and I didn't have time to look at this list and then try to type it in, and I'd be dead.
Yeah.
Pab said, I needed my brother to help me. Yeah, we all need that little help from anybody for getting any program started.
Yeah, and then of course my favorite keyboard game that was like really really heavy on the keyboard was MechWarrior.
I was gonna mention that too, because here's the thing: is back when we were kids, okay, Dad had this drawer full of just games and, if you would, cheat codes, okay, because for MechWarrior the box was about this big. It was a big box, and they had a foldable keyboard pad that you basically put on top of your keyboard, and it had the alignment of all the.
And it told you what all the keys did.
Yes, and then you had the cheat book next to it, so you have like the graph showing what each key did, and they also had the graph on the keyboard showing what each key did as well. I'm going, this thing is like so cool, but you gotta play as a kid. You're going, this is way too much to make buttons, and here's Dad just laughing, going, "You're gonna die soon." I'm like, I didn't know what this button does.
which is how engineering skills came into play, because it's like, not only did you had to know how to type, you had to know how to input numbers and reload guns and do this and do that. And you just had to keep that all separated in your mind. Like, oh, I need missiles, and I didn't even think about it. I just was like, 2. It's like, boom, I reload missiles. I mean, it's just like, boom, 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 boom.
And also, you had the joystick too, which is pretty cool. You had the joystick and all the extra buttons on it too. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you play the mouse, the joystick, and the keyboard all at the same time.
Right. Yeah. So
who does that? So
you had to change. You had to make sure that you changed your mouse to go left-handed, because you always had to make sure you had the right button at the right place. So you'd set your mouse for left-handed, keep your joystick on the right-hand side, and then anytime you taught yourself that this was to do this, and then this was to do this, and so you would like, I got to move, so I get rid of the joystick. Oh, get rid of the joystick. Use the mouse. Do this. Aiming, turning. Okay, now back over to the joystick, and you're doing this all the time, back and forth, back and forth.
I mean, and the thing is cool is it went from MechWarrior 1 to MechWarrior 2, where MechWarrior 2 I think had some more simplified commands. I think.
Oh yeah.
They made it more simplified for just the joystick and the keypad.
Yep.
Which is good. But then when they did MechWarrior 3 for, what was it, Windows XP or whatever it was, they added again. It was, I think they came with a joystick too, like dual joysticks.
Dual joysticks.
And that was cool. But the thing is a lot of us gamers back in the day didn't have dual joystick compatibility, because we had the original 95 computers.
Right.
And we're going, we had to upgrade to XP. I think we bought our first XP when I was like, what, 10, 11?
11, probably.
And it was, so cool.
And then I bought the extra joystick panel, the extra joystick driver to go into it. Programmed it for dual joysticks so that you could actually have your hands on both sides, the joystick on both sides. So this was aiming and moving the robot. This was looking and everything else. So you were watching on this side, and then you could start shooting on this side. So you actually were, so this had actually guns up and down, head up and down.
That's kind of like tapping your tongue at the
was.
same time.
It was like, so you're walking around like, so you're walking around like this and doing your thing, and then you're shooting like this, and you could actually change your gun position and everything over here. So you have your watching screen.
Wow.
You're going okay, gun position, and moving your gun position around, and you're going like, oh, move my robot back and over. So you can actually back up and go forward at the same time. You're shooting this way and backing up at the same time.
No, no. You see, when I play a game with him, I just hang on to the thing and I'm going around in circles and shooting at everything.
So she's got her controller like this. She's going.
Yeah.
She's driving a car and Xbox doing this. I can't turn. Use a joystick. Which one? There's two there. Well, this is for looking. That one's for steering.
Right.
Well, how do I go? It's the trigger. Which trigger? It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
We should make a YouTube video just for that, and that'll be come to go.
I can be a lot more entertaining when I'm moving.
Yeah. When she's trying to drive with the controller.
Yeah, wait, yeah. See, with the boss.
Not with the boss.
Well, here's the thing though: is Kelsey?
Yeah.
You would work together because Kelsey should be playing Halo or anything. She'll be playing a fighting game and doing this when she's fighting. That's all he does. But I got you on this uppercut. And it's like, you don't need to be flaying around. We're all on the same couch.
Yes, you do.
So in case you see that, you would be able to set them both on this couch.
No.
And have them play the game.
No.
Because one would be over here like this, and then they'd both be. Oh, yeah.
Pretty much.
That could be kind of fun.
It's violent.
It is violent, yeah.
So next question, if you want to answer these questions or not. Your age.
Oh, no.
32.
I'm 32, yes.
Your age.
Okay,
yeah,
so
your age is 32.
that'd be a no. Sorry, Flarian. That was your question to them.
Oh, if they really want to know, I'll tell you how old Joy is.
Wow, you just put me under the bus.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you what. For 1,000 bits, we'll tell you her age.
Oh,
I didn't agree to that.
Oh, here it comes. 1,000. There it is. No.
I was like, what? Really?
Yeah.
Wow, Pam.
Yeah. Wait, come here a minute.
All right. So then, your favorite food currently?
So well, let me say it this way. I'm over 50, under 60. It's up to them where I'm at.
And you're under 100, but
We're
over
4 years
25,
apart.
right?
Yeah.
We're 4 years apart. You figure.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow. Favorite food currently? Favorite food besides salad?
Serious? Do I have to give the name of the restaurant?
You see that look? Do you see that look? Like, I would murder you now.
Do I have to give you the name of the restaurant that it comes from, or just the food?
Just the food.
The food. So my favorite food right now, which I could actually probably eat every day if I had to, is it's called King's Chips and Cheese. What they do is they actually take like a soft taco, like a tortilla, if you will. And they cut it into like sizes of chips, if you will. And they put cheese over the top of it and melt it with cheese on top of it. And then they put lettuce, tomatoes, hamburger, sour cream, and salsa over the top of that. And that is my favorite food. I'll have to say it is. So it's kind of like a salad, but it's kind of like a loose. I guess you call it like a loose taco. But it's called deluxe. It's called King's Chips and Cheese. Is my favorite.
And your favorite food?
Chocolate. It's still chocolate. It's
not
always
food.
been chocolate.
That's a dessert.
Let's just make it more specific then. Favorite meal?
Meal. You there?
I spent years chocolate, all kinds of stuff.
I mean, we can't say what Dad makes because Dad makes a lot of food.
No,
like fideo.
He does make something I really, really.
All right. So what did Dad lasagna make that you really, really like?
Your biscuit.
Oh.
With the chicken underneath. Oh, it's really good.
So it's kind of like shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
But it's made with chicken and almost like a stir fry vegetable. And I put that
farmer's pie,
like a farmer's pie, and then it's done with a nice thick white gravy, and then I put biscuits over the top of it and bake it all together. Oh.
So biscuits and gravy with extra protein, basically, is all it is, and vegetables.
Yeah, it's good. You don't make it sound very good.
Yeah,
it is pretty good.
Biscuits and gravy doesn't make it sound like it at all. No, this is like
really good, really good.
So it'd be kind of like shepherd's pie with chicken instead.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like your sausage white gravy
Yeah.
Totally
Gotcha.
different.
Yeah.
So before we go any further, I need to grab something.
Are we on a
little bit? I'm going to do this promotion before I go any further.
Oh, it's promotion time.
Yep. So at this right here.
Hold it. Please. But it looks like I'm standing on it.
This is the website that I'll be sending you guys to. You guys want to have pet portraits, or there also is calendars and coloring books at GabrielColoring.com. These are some of the samples that I have for showing you guys. This is for my mom's website, where you get your pet portraits for your forever furry friends. And yeah, they make great gifts, great little knickknacks as well. And check it out. And you've been helping her for how long with this website?
So the website, I've been actually working on the website now for just over a year.
Okay.
And she started it. Wow. Years before that.
Okay.
She's been online for 3, but she's just really kind of getting into promoting it now.
Okay. And then how long has she been doing this artwork specifically? Over 20 years?
Yeah, 20 years. At least 20 years.
And then, like I said before, the most of the artwork you see that I showed you guys just now is a pen and ink with watercolor base.
Yes.
Correct? So she'll do the base all watercolor. Then also when she does all the extra ink and everything, she will draw out like some pastel if you would to pull out the watercolor for shades and all the other fun stuff you add for your colors.
She also works in. She just did my dog colored pencil.
Okay, so yeah, so she kind of experiments with some of it as well.
So the thing that's kind of cool is that the color pencils that she uses are actually watercolor pencils. Yeah. So after you put them on and you get them the color where you want it, then she actually has it looks like a pen, but all it has in it is water. And then you can actually go over the top of it. And it's like kind of like making it a paint, turning it into a paint.
Wow.
So you draw it first, and then you can bring that out and kind of blend it all together with the. It's cool. It's really intricate the way she does it.
It's very controlled watercolor.
The thing is, you're one of her favorite customers, if you would. How would you describe her work to the people, though?
She has a light touch.
Okay. And is it worth the wait and also the price?
Oh yeah.
All worth it?
Yeah, she's asking.
Compared to most places, this is actually probably one of the most fairest prices you can find around.
Yeah.
Even online. I mean, for some of the artwork on Facebook and online, I'm going with some of the prices for other portraits for your pets. I'm going, she's maybe not even asking like the full price that you would ask for anybody else. And the quality, though, is always dead on. Like, if you want, like, touchable pets almost, it's really, really close, so you can almost feel it. It's so cool.
So we had one, because we actually set it, we do the farmer's market once in a while. Mm-hmm. And so the last time we were at, I will say not last year, but the year before that, we set up like a little booth that had the pet portrait stuff on it. Mm. And we had one person come up and they go like, well, so did you draw this photo? And then they looked at it and they were like, oh my goodness, that's the picture. Yeah. She was like, yeah, that's the picture. He was like, oh, wow, do you have a card? Because some of her artwork, I mean, it looks like a photo.
It's really dead on.
It's dead on. It's incredible. So, yeah.
So, yeah, that's the little promotion for my mom, her artwork and everything, and then the 2 witnesses who are part of it. So
we're still trying to get her to do. I've sold her calendar to people on my bus. They're asking again. But she does like the coloring.
The coloring pages and she has a coloring
and I've
book,
actually colored in a few of them. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, so it's more like it's kind of a calendar, but it's more coloring book than it is calendar.
It's coloring book style
because it's got the big the bottom half of the page has got the big numbers, so you get lots of room to write. But also the top half then is all coloring, like all colorable, if you will.
And most of her artwork comes from the zoo, right? So, or she took pictures of zoo animals and other people's portraits.
Yeah, from there, and also then from photos that we've taken, like in the garden, or on some of our trips,
like
we've
flowers and frogs, and hawks and stuff like that.
Yes, hawks. Like the one we were up at a place called Black Lake, and we saw some turtles on this one log, and so we were in a canoe, and we got kind of drifted in and drifted in. So she's got some really, really close-up pictures of these turtles, and that's one of the pictures that she actually drew was
gotcha.
the turtles.
He does all the photography in that sense for when it comes to that, because you have what was it called again? The kind of camera?
It's it's the digital one.
The digital, just with the lens and all that.
Yeah, so it's actually a zoom, plus it's digital and autofocus and all that. I mean, it's a really, really.
So one of these days, I'll have my dad bring us up over, and we'll kind of do his show and tell. One of his hobbies he loves to do, which is photography, which you've been known on Facebook. Basically online, he's like famous. So it's kind of cool. I want to get him promoted as well, so if people can, if you want pictures, possibly get new hobbies or send pictures to people who want to indulge in your artwork. So there's that. So we're back to questions now. Let's see here. Rizzle had a question for you guys. There you go. So this is a long question, I guarantee, for one of you two.
Oh boy, here we go.
So this might be our closing question. Who knows? Favorite childhood memory?
I had a good one. Yeah,
you had a great childhood.
Yes, I had a great childhood. So my best childhood memory or thing. I mean, so I lived at the end of a dirt road. We lived 2.5. I will say a mile in, and then from there another half a mile into the woods. So I lived way off into the woods,
the boonies.
And so my backyard was actually part of Manistee National Forest. So
wow.
I had probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 580 acres of backyard.
Whoa.
And so in the backyard, there was we lived around a little lake, and around the little lake there was probably 4 families that had lots of boys. So there was kind of like a little gang of boys out there, and we like to play tree tag, and that's part of one of my best memories is playing tree tag. What we would do is because it's national forest, they actually grew really tall pine trees so they could make telephone poles. So they would plant the trees like only 3 foot apart, and they would grow 35, 40 feet tall, but they would be there'd be no branches on the bottom half because they're so close together, and with all the branches would be way at the top. So
gotcha.
We would actually then climb up one of the trees and get up to the top, because the ones toward the outside edge all had branches all the way to the bottom.
Right.
So you'd climb all the way up to the top of these trees, and you'd be up 35 feet in the air, and then you would get the tree to swinging, and then you would go from one tree to the next, and you would actually swing through the tops of these trees, and sometimes there would be 10 or 12 of us up there playing tag on the tops of these trees. So that was probably one of my best childhood memories. Was tree tag. So we called it tree tag. And and so there was one time I got too close to the edge, and I grabbed a tree and it started going over, and when it didn't start swinging back, and I heard a crack and a pow down below, and it kept on going all the way down, and I rode it all the way down to the ground. And so at the time, your mother was just my girlfriend, and I went to see her, and came up and she gave me a hug, and I was like, oh. She was like, oh, what's the matter? And I said, oh, and I lifted up my shirt, and I had this bruise went all the way across my chest, and I was sore for like 3 days, or for about 3 weeks with that. I mean, I was stiff and sore, and I'm pretty sure I probably cracked a rib. Of course, I never did anything. I just
a redneck kid.
Yeah, you just kind of bear through it, like, oh. But yeah,
gotcha.
So I don't say I never actually fell out of a tree, but I rode a tree to the ground.
And you have nothing though for that question?
I don't have anything cool like that.
Oh, come on, there's got to be something.
The only thing that I remember when I was a kid that I thought was really, really, as I got older, was when we were in
Japan, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Japan,
yeah.
Dad was military, Air Force, and we were in Japan. I was little, like 1st and 2nd grade.
Little.
And I remember one time I didn't understand at the time what the deal was, but it was a cherry festival. Huh. And being so short, I would look up. All I saw was pink pie. Pretty flowers was a whole.
That's cool.
All the air, and I didn't realize. You get older, how short they are.
Yeah.
But to me, it was the entire sky was filled with flowers. And,
that's cool.
Yeah, and we had gone to the zoo.
It was
all
there?
and they had all kinds of beautiful. It was during the cherry festival. All kinds of beautiful flowers everywhere. So
so the Japan does have a zoo, but all the animals are like really small.
They weren't to me. I was only in.
Oh yeah. So I remember going to the zoo in Japan, and it was kind of interesting because like they had like look at these miniature deer, and I'm like,
yeah,
it's definitely not a deer. That's a dog.
Well, it's only a little island, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Godzilla is not real. I'm sorry. It's
Godzilla
just not real.
is not real because if he was like real, he would sink the island.
Japan would not be there.
Wow. I have more questions.
Oh no. He's going to the auxiliary computer over there to get questions.
I have more questions for you guys. I mean, actually here's a question for you guys, for both of you guys. There's a little more about the channel. Hey, what you guys have seen in the past, if you guys enjoyed the channel so far.
Do we have to be completely honest? Yes, I always enjoyed it.
I don't know, because I keep seeing that thing.
Oh yeah, there is that. But I like the channel because not only do I get to watch you play games, because like you used to watch me play games all the time,
right?
Which I think is kind of cool. Some of the games that you play, I mean, I'm going like he's doing this on this controller, and I'm just like, man, give me a keyboard, I will whip you so bad.
You'd be off.
But that's because I'm keyboard, and,
yeah,
and I'm DOS I'm DOS based, and or Windows based anyway. And it's like, I see you play these games, and I'm just like, yeah, that's really cool. But it really is an action game. But then it's like, if I bring up a thinking game like Myst, you go.
Yeah, look at you already.
I mean, it's like, what's up with that?
See, Pam,
all the Myst players, raise up your hand and say, "Yep, Myst is the game."
Myst is the game.
Pam Nation says we love the channel. Cool. Yes, PC. All right. If I had a game PC, I would play a lot more games that were more challenging. If I had a second person playing with me, that's the thing is, I was trying to get more people to join me on the channel as a guest or whatever, so I can do YouTube. Because YouTube, I can do more extracurricular activity.
Right.
Whereas when it comes to this, it's more of like how I can present myself to everybody else. Where this is more of the laugh lasagna fun time. I just.
That wasn't fun.
So then,
so I should add something really quick. I did find a copy of Myst 4 Revelation, and I found it Goodwill. I picked it up. You know what? I'm going to put it on my XP computer, and I'm going to play some more.
Pat Nation, Myst is the game. Pab likes Myst apparently.
There we go.
Also, he's kind of an engineer too, in a sense too.
Yeah, so it's a thinking game. I mean, it's all those puzzles. It's like, and they're like all mechanical puzzles, which that is where I'm mechanical puzzles. Oh yeah, got to do this to do that, to do this to do that. And it's not like it's totally. Aww. It's not like it's totally oh look.
So they're trying the new Hershey's birthday cake kiss.
Birthday cake kiss? Oh, that's not to be interesting.
Birthday cake kisses. So they're brand new at the dollar store. I thought I'd pick one up.
I am mechanically inclined. I can unwrap this without ripping the wrapper.
I did, but
no, I'm gonna. Oh, there we go.
It smells like birthday cake.
I know, right? It doesn't taste like birthday cake. It's more like a white chocolate with sprinkles.
White chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh no. This has got crunches in it.
You want one? Well, I'll tell you what. There's one left in here. You can come over and grab it.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That is good.
I would say it's definitely more just like white chocolate.
With sprinkles.
Crunch of sprinkles.
Well, no, you could say it.
Like batter.
It's like if you took the frosting and the cake part it squished it all together and made it into a hard rock.
There you go.
And then put the sprinkles on top and then ate it. Yeah, that'd be the puff steak.
Like 19-hour drives. All right, come here tomorrow. I'll have one for you, buddy. So, why is it up right here?
Here, we got the evidence that we both had one.
All right, let's see. One question I had for you guys. For sure, it's one word.
One word.
One word. Or name or title.
14.
What cartoon, currently or as when you were a kid, that made you laugh the most?
Shrek.
Shrek, okay. Current or past?
It passed. Really funny. It was just.
Yeah.
Red Rabbit cartoon. In a sense.
Any of the Looney Tunes were.
Did it make you? You're not much of a laugher, are you?
Yeah.
You don't laugh at anything. You're very sad.
Shrek wasn't. It was great music.
I liked it because I like Shrek because it's that really dry kind of. If you don't get the humor,
Like British humor.
yeah, if you don't get it, it's like just something.
No. I've got the one that really makes me laugh.
The cartoon.
Yeah.
Which one?
The guy with the blue head.
Megamind.
Megamind. That is one of the funniest.
Well, okay, so Megamind's up there too, but yeah I'm thinking Shrek is still there because he's the big green guy, you know.
He is funny. Yeah,
I like the color.
Funny. Yeah. I
Next-
thought you didn't like that color green.
Yeah, he's not bright green. He's kind of more of an olive green.
Colorblind.
Whoa. Closer to olive than he is to bright.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
Let's see.
We need a picture of Shrek if you can bring him up.
What-
Just kidding.
What is the favorite food you like to make?
Again with the food.
It's laughing lasagna.
It's laughing lasagna. So
I used to make lasagna.
I would say
Great.
lasagna is my most favorite food. Just kidding.
Wow.
Fideo. Fideo's my favorite.
Fideo?
Fideo's
That we
my
like
favorite.
to make?
I like
Yes.
to make. I love making fideo because I can tweak the recipe just a little bit every single time I make it, and everybody goes like, "Oh, that's a lot better," and they go, "Oh, what did you?"
Well, the thing that I used to make that worked out pretty good was.
There you go. So,
There you go.
that's
Favorite food to make.
I'll tell you what.
Banana
And
bread
chocolate
with
chips
Kahlua.
in it.
And chocolate chips in it.
chocolate chip, yeah. And then
You liked it.
I liked. No, I loved it. So one of the things that kind of frustrates your mom or my wife or your sister
Yeah.
is when they would say, "What kind of birthday cake do you want?" And I'd go, "Oh, I want a banana bread with cream cheese frosting." And they're like, "That's not a cake." I'm like, "Oh yes, it is. It's my favorite. Put white raisins in it. You know it. Oh man, that's good."
That's true. White raisins does help.
White raisins.
Golden
raisins. Got to be golden raisins.
Golden raisins.
Oh, I'll tell you what, golden raisins. And then of course,
Anything with cream cheese frosting.
and then if you actually put crunched up walnuts in it to it, that's just a little on top.
Yes,
See,
but
me,
Lisa
I'm more of a
can't
pecan
eat
guy
Right,
though.
but Lisa can't have that.
I'm more of a pecan guy. You do walnuts? It's
You're just
crunch. Is all it is.
stuck on that
I
I love
pie.
pecans, man.
I love pecans as well.
It's my dad's fault.
Yeah.
I love pecans because of my dad.
Yeah.
That's why I got you that coffee.
yeah, I drink all of it.
And then when we went, we were actually in. Oh, come on now! What's the name? Missouri to visit one of our friends, and they had wild pecan trees in their front yard, and not just one.
Oh.
They had there was 10 or 12 of them.
Wow.
And while we were there on the ground, they had these husks that were laying around, and they were like, "Oh yeah, those are just pecans. There's so many of them. We just don't even pick them up anymore." I'm like, "Can I take some?" They were like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead. You just open them up, let them dry." I said, "Well, how long do you gotta let them dry out?" They said, "Oh, sometimes 3 months." And I'm like, 3 months? You gotta let them dry. Well, they said, "Well, unless you get the ones that got the black, they're already turning black on the outside." And I'm like, "Maybe they just peel those, and those are kind of almost close to
Oh,
ready."
the other ones were green.
They're green, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if they were green, you got to wait about 3 months. If you get the ones that are black on the they're kind of they're not black, but they're really dark brown
On the shell,
on the shells. You can actually pull the husk off in it, and then there'd be a pecan already on the inside. It'd already have that brownish on the outside. But if you the other ones were kind of greenish, so you had to let them
so it's
dry out.
It's like more crunchy, more
More
hard,
crunchy. And
more
they were
just-
I'll tell you what.
So that's
fresh,
what's been in our.
fresh pecans. Oh my goodness, those are really good.
But don't you have to roast them?
No, you don't have to roast a pecan.
Good.
Really? You don't have to roast a pecan.
Next question.
Kind of like acorns. You don't have to roast acorns.
Favorite candy?
Ew.
Besides chocolate. Favorite candy?
I'll let you go first. I want to make sure it's right.
Okay. Jelly.
Yep. What
Jelly bellies.
Jelly bellies, yeah.
Ebony's.
No.
Jelly belly jelly beans.
I like the Ebony's gummy bears, but gummies were never my.
Okay.
The jelly bellies. Too.
So mine is. It used to be the little Red Hots.
Okay.
I really like those
cinnamon Red Hots.
But then they came out because those are really hard to eat because they're kind of crunchy.
Yeah.
But they're like really good. Like you put them like in an apple and put them in the microwave. Oh, that's really good.
Ew.
But cinnamon apple.
Ruin a good apple. Well, cinnamon's good, but it that bite from the hot is too much.
But when you put in an apple, it makes the whole apple red.
Yeah.
But it also makes the whole apple hot.
It doesn't make it hot. It makes it cinnamon. So then they came up with a soft candy that's the same flavor, and I really like that. And that's probably my favorite candy, which is hot tamales. I love hot tamales.
No.
I like the little cinnamon gummy bears too, but hot tamales I think are still my best.
And hot tamales are basically the same as you do the Mike and Ike's. Mike and Ike's.
Yeah, Mike and Ike's. Yeah, yep. Mike and Ike's.
We judge your decision.
Yuck.
Yeah. I like most cinnamon candies.
Okay.
Decent. But like used to get the Atomic Fireball. That was really good too.
Back in the day, that was the thing. Yeah,
those were good.
Like Jawbreakers, but they're hot.
Jawbreaker, yeah. And then of course you get the ones that are called cinnamon discs. Those are really good.
Okay.
I like Jolly Rancher Cinnamon Fire. Those are really good. So, but hot tamales, I think.
What about Tootsie Rolls? What about Tootsie Rolls?
Who likes Tootsie Rolls?
I don't.
Because it's chocolate.
Not all. Some of them are fruit flavored.
Oh yeah, like you like fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls?
I do.
Oh.
I like the chocolate ones better, but.
Yeah. So do we get to pick a favorite chocolate candy?
Yeah.
Favorite chocolate candy? Why not?
Kit Kat.
Hershey's Nuggets milk chocolate.
Kit Kat.
Nuggets are better ones.
Kit Kat. Kit Kat.
Pab said I love them. Love what? Them or the
candy?
Thank you! We are the best!
Wow.
I can say that.
You're going to have to come up with which one that's the favorite one. What?
Yes, and Tootsie Rolls. Okay, so he loves you guys and Tootsie Rolls.
And Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls. Go, Tootsie Rolls.
What about Kit Kats? Come on.
Kit Kats are awesome. I'm just saying. Kit Kats are actually probably my favorites too.
Yeah.
But the lasagna idea was Kit Kat lasagna. That's still an idea.
Kit Kat lasagna. That should work. We should be able to do that.
With little Hershey nuggets.
Okay, yeah. You might have me there.
So they would be like the substitute for the beef. The little nuggets put in there.
Yeah. And
then you put then you get the vanilla wafers for the noodle part.
And then you have your cream cheese frosting to put in the middle.
Yeah. Cream cheese
hold it together, and then you put in the middle you gummy worms.
And
and
so
you ruined it.
And the thing that you get done with is that when you put it in the oven to cook it, you're not actually cooking it. You're just putting it in there to melt it all together. And when you get done, you'd have to cut it with a knife and be like a cookie. Oh
yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, it's gonna be awesome.
So if you guys are not a follower of this channel already, we are actually 8 away. That's 8 away from 500 followers. Once we get 500 followers, we're gonna wait for about a week or two to make sure no one else kind of leaves and they're at 499 to make it kind of weird. Once we get 500 followers, we're doing 2 lasagnas with Day Lasagna helping me out, and we're doing it here again at this current place, and we're doing a lasagna. It's for a dinner lasagna, which you guys decide, which will be on Twitter and Discord, which is where basically you guys decide what kind of layers we're gonna do, and we're gonna basically make it for you guys. Whoever makes the best votes for what we need on the layers and how many layers we do, we're doing that.
So just to let you know, we cannot do. I think somebody suggested a 15-layer pizza or a 15-layer lasagna. I'm gonna need a pan this deep, so.
Unless you want to send us a pan that deep, then we'll try to make one happen.
We'll try it.
Slow cooker.
Slow cooker lasagna.
I've heard of that.
No.
No. Also, for those who want a all vegetable vegan lasagna, we're working on that for my birthday stream again. So that'll be another 6-7 months from now, where we'll make a small lasagna that's for vegans, and we'll try to make one.
And we're gonna try to make it all. They're all vegetable
or vegetable based.
Or vegetable based.
Yeah, because you need cheese.
Yeah. Well,
if it's
the
vegan, that's
vegan. There's not cheese.
That.
But we could make it a vegetarian.
Yeah, well, so
no animal products is what we're trying to do.
No animal products. We're trying to do all vegetable products.
Cheese.
So
don't they have fake cheese somewhere?
They have fake cheese.
It's called plastic.
It's called plastic, yeah. So we can use saran wrap for the cheese.
Yep.
No.
Well, we have to have something that melts. Oh.
And so the thing too is with that.
So what you should ask then on your streamers if they have an idea for something that's kind of like a cheese for a lasagna that's vegan, send it.
Yeah, send it either on my Twitter or send it on my Twitch. Or if you're a fan of me or on my Discord, just send them my Discord and we'll go from there.
It has to be edible.
It has to be edible. Yeah, but that way there we know that that you guys, the vegan guys out there, that you guys have stuff that you use in place of cheese, and we're gonna need to know that because I'm gonna get something that we're gonna put any kind of that inside this. I don't know if they make vegetable based cheese.
Cauliflower is everything.
Yeah, cauliflower. Cauliflower cheese. No.
No, I don't think that works.
That's cheddar.
So with that 500 followers, also we'll also do a dessert lasagna as well, where basically you guys get to decide what layers and how many layers we do for that as well. Top will be 3 layers. Will be 3 layers probably, but it'll be Kit Kat as one of the bases, or the vanilla wafers, or the wafers you get for the crisp wafers or whatever. Yeah.
So we're kind of doing either vanilla wafers or Kit Kats in there because those will both work because they both got the wafer in them.
Yep.
But of course Kit Kat's already got the extra chocolate, which that might make it kind of hard to cut more when you're all said done. But the vanilla wafers they wouldn't have to because the chocolate would melt right to it.
There you go. So that's what's going on for the 500 followers. So if you're a big fan of the show, as well if you enjoy watching these kind of interviews, let me know in the description below. I'm also on YouTube, on TikTok, and all that. So, Hab, thank you so much for being part of this interview and for being a good moderator. Again, it's Joy Drive and Day Lasagna, and they are awesome people to be part of the community, and they also enjoy sharing with their friends and family what the lasagna does.
Well, didn't we get to ask you a question now?
No.
Oh. That's not fair at all.
You guys ask questions when I do my streams,
Oh.
Yeah, but you don't share with everybody.
Yeah. Why would I?
And then
this is my show. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream, and we will be having another interview as well, hopefully soon, with my mom to help promote her content as well. And then Day Lasagna will be here again as well with her, and we will help show some more of her artwork as well, and basically promoting both my stream as well as her online work that she does with her art. And I may be back on tonight with you guys doing who knows what. I don't know what we're doing. And don't forget, tomorrow is Mother's Day, so all you mothers out there, we all love you. Don't worry, we all love you mothers. So yeah, this is Left Lasagna saying thank you so much for joining us, and have a good one, guys.